The poem that I'm going to read today is from Eternal Pollution of a Dented Mind, and the poem is called White Wall. I wrote this book when my mind was unravelling very quickly, and this was the product, actually. I wrote a lot during that period, and I broke off from my publishers. I'm an idiot, because I could have published so many books in that period, but Fred made me cut off from them. Well, you know, he's quite a destructive force in my life. But I wrote this poem, and this formed the basis of my film, which I made for the UK Film Council, and it's called White Wall. There was a little girl. She was sulking, slumped against a white wall, looking on enviously at happy families and kids playing. All around her was light and joy, blue skies and flowers in full bloom. She lit a match, wishing she could incinerate the planet in a second. She watched the flame burn, leaving a charred body that crumbled at the slightest touch. Overwhelmed with a hatred that is bitter and stinks, she began to run like the wind. "Why are you running, little girl? Slow down or you might fall over," the wall whispered. The little girl refused to listen. She ran and ran until her feet bled, faster than the cars that sped beside her. Her blood was pumping, sweat oozing, breathing heavily as if it was her last. "How fast can I go?" she whispered. She never wanted to stop, for when she ran, she couldn't think. Her brain was empty and her heart light. "Run, little girl, and take flight." For a second she closed her eyes, only for a second, and then she fell. Her knees bust open, exploded with blood. Flesh scraped off right to the bone, her palms stripped of skin, and the pain made her pale and faint, but she got up and continued to run. Each step a struggle, as she built up a steady speed, desperate to take flight from it all. People stared, she ignored, and then she started to scream. A piercing, deafening scream like a bomb falling onto London. An explosion that made you shudder and shrink. She didn't stop running until she reached the end of the world. She passed houses, polar bears, ancient ruins, slums and jungles. She passed it all without so much as a pause and inhalation of the sights, and now she finally stopped. What does the end of the world look like, you might ask? Well, it's a full stop, drawn perfectly in black ink, resting against a white wall that stretches high and wide. There is no way to climb over it or round it. She flicked a drop of blood against the white wall, spattered it too, disgusted at its pristine whiteness. She tried to soil it with the mud on her feet, but the white remained white. "So this is it," she said bitterly. "I ran all this way for a white wall, as if expecting some wondrous, dazzling rainbow or a tree that was ancient and wise. What am I supposed to do now? Is this what you call mental peace?" She sat down before the white wall and began to have a conversation. "White wall, why are you so white? Why do you not have edges, a top or a bottom, a beginning or an end?" The white wall remained silent. "White wall, I've been running until my feet have bled. I am running and I don't know why. Can you give me some answers?" The white wall remained silent. "White wall, are you God? What are you? Why am I sitting here at the end of the world and I still don't know what to do?" The white wall remained silent. "So we're born, we grow old, and die. Is that it, you bastard?" The white wall remained silent. "White wall, I need to understand. I need to have meaning in my life, to let go of all my pain. Please help me, since no human can." The white wall finally spoke. "Little girl, go home. Walk, do not run. This time, when you walk, look up into the sky at the clouds. Watch the way the light caresses your skin. Sit by the sea and stare deep into the ocean. Listen to that old man at the bus stop and share your banana with a hungry child. Keep your eyes open, feed your belly when you are starving, and sleep when you are tired. There is a time to think, a time to shit, a time to fuck or make love, a time to simply shut up. The little girl rose slowly and began her long journey home, her feet blistered, her knees bloody, her face drawn, her body shattered, but her eyes wide open. She soaked it all in, every detail, every colour, everything touched her, and for a time she was flying without running, and then she dipped, and then she flew. She had no control. She could barely comprehend what it meant to be alive, but there was no point longing for death, because death comes to all of us. The black dot that is the inevitable full stop, the white wall that is the end of the world. She was still a little girl, an angry one, but she liked to play with bubbles, love light when it was gentle, and rain too when it poured. A young man might kiss her on the lips and walk away, never to be seen again, but the memory of the kiss would stay with her if she let it. All the memories would keep her warm when she lay alone at night, staring at the blank white wall. She was always running, but tonight she learnt to walk, to pause, to breathe, to wait, to stop, to sink into those pristine walls. It's deep, man. I mean, that poem, it's about God, I think. I'm agnostic, but I believe in the universe, the power of the universe, and the power of the stars and the moon. And I could spend a long time just looking at a tree, for example. The power of nature, you know, there is something out there that is unfathomable. But that little girl, she's looking for answers. She needs answers. She doesn't fit in the world, and she wants to fit. She wants to find a place called home, and we all do, I think. We all need to have a place called home where we fit. And often I feel that I'm an alien from another planet. I think that I am, probably. My mother says that we are. Once I found my mother at the end of the garden in a little house, and I just said to her, "Mummy, what are you doing?" She was just staring up at the moon, and she just said, "We are not from here, we're from somewhere else, somewhere other." She just kept looking at the moon. I think she was drinking onion water. Yeah, it's not easy being different, and it's not easy feeling so much all the time. But I'd rather feel something than not at all. I'd rather respond to that pain and try to create something out of that pain. I mean, that's my job as an artist, I think.